Hi, I'm Pam Carr. Welcome to my channel, Caraway Crochet, and today I'm going to show you how you can make these cute little mug cozies or cup cozies. And I wanted to show you these two specifically because they are two different size mugs. This one on the left is the traditional mug that we were all used to, and the one on the right is a little bit bigger because a lot of the mugs nowadays are bigger. They each have a cute button fastener, and today in my video I'm going to show you how to make these mug cozies, how to make the holder, and how to sew on the button and make the heart to attach to your cozy and make it special for Valentine's Day. So welcome, and I hope you enjoy this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. So to start with the mug cozy, I'm going to be chaining 11 stitches because we want it to be 10 stitches tall. Okay, so I'm using my H hook here, and I'm going to chain 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now if you're here and you're brand new to crochet, I just want to mention I do have a video on my channel all about how to make a slip stitch and how to make a chain. Okay, so I'm sorry if that went a bit fast for you, but anyway, there is a video that you can refer to if you want to learn, if you don't know how to do a slip knot or you don't know how to do a chain. Okay, now what we're going to do, we are going to be single crocheting into the second chain from the hook. This is just for the first row. So we count 1, 2, and we put the hook through, we put the yarn over, we pull it through, and then we put the yarn over again and pull it through. That's a single crochet. So that's 1, go through, 2, 3. I was thinking today I need to get a yarn bowl to control my yarn when I'm doing these videos. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now from now on we're going to be doing double crochets from rows 2 to 16. So let's chain 2, 1, 2, and we're ready for row 2. So you turn your work and we are ready to start with row 2, and we're going to do a double crochet, which means you wrap your yarn over, and then I'm going to be sticking it into the first hole right there, and we're going to be counting 10. 1, that chain 2 is not counting as a stitch, okay, so that's our first stitch. 1, 2 double crochets, a double crochet, we wrap it over, we put the hook through, we wrap the yarn over and pull it through, we wrap the yarn over, pull it through 2, we wrap the yarn over and pull it through the last 2. That's 3 stitches. Yarn over, pull it through, 4 stitches. 5 stitches. 6 stitches. 7 stitches. 8, and we are going through that. There's 2 strands when we're going through there, right? Just so you know. 9, and then the last 2, which was the chain 2. So we always want to be counting, because the thing I've found when I'm making these mug cozies is you can get a little bit wobbly across the top if you don't count. So the next step after you finished your 10 is you chain 2. Sometimes people chain 3, but I'm chaining 2 because I want it to be a pretty straight edge across there. And we're ready to start on the next row, which is row 3. For second row of double crochet, third row of the project, okay? So once again, we've chained 2. Now we're going to look and find the first little hole in there, okay? And we go in there, we put the yarn over, put the hook in, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through, 2, yarn over, pull it through 2. That's 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm just going to count them, okay, because I feel like I might have miscounted there. 1, this is the chain 2, which is the turning chain. We don't count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nope, that's right. Okay, so we're going to chain 2 and then turn the work again, and off we go for the next row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so we've got the short little row at the beginning, which is our single crochet row, and then we can start counting our double crochet rows. 1, 2, 3. So what I want you to do, you can almost see there's the single crochet row, and there's 1 and 2, and then we get a little bump. So we've got the bump, and then in between each of those 2 bumpy rows are 2 crochet rows. Of course, double crochet is always weird because this one looks so much shorter than this one. It's just the way it is, okay? So I want you to do 16 rows in total. So that'll be 15 rows of the double crochet with that 1 row at the beginning of the single crochet. I like to put the single crochet row at the beginning just to sort of anchor the beginning, and we might need to be putting our button in there for the closure for the mug cozy. Okay, so I'll see you back after you've finished your 15 rows of double crochet. Okay, so here we are. We've got 1, 2 here, the single crochet and the double crochet. That's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's 15 double crochet rows and 1 single crochet row. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 1, because we're reverting back to the single crochet, and I'm going to turn the work, and this is where we're going to create the hole for the button to go through. So we are going to make the mug cozy closure, right? So we're going to single crochet into the next 3 stitches. Okay, so this is the first one here, right there. So we don't put the yarn over when we're single crocheting. We go straight in with the hook, wrap over, pull through, That's one single crochet. And then we go 2, and then we go 3. And after we finish 3 single crochets, we are going to chain 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chains, right. Then we're going to count 3 stitches here, and you can see them. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put our hook into the 4th stitch, and we are going to do a single crochet. And then we're going to single crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's where we're at for that. Then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to chain 1 and turn the work again. And this time we're going to go over top of the chain so we can make it a little bit more substantial. If you want to leave it like that, you can leave it like that. I like to make it a little bit thicker, but not everybody wants to do that, right? So it's totally up to you. This is your project, and you can make it, customize it whatever you want to do, okay? So what we're going to do now is we've chained 1, and we've turned it, and now we're going to single crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And then we are going to single crochet across the chain. So we have to start working up our chain, okay? So I'm going to turn it this way because it's easier to see all the little V's going up there. So we can start in there. Three. You can see where the V is. I'm going into this one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the 10 chains that we've done. And then we are going to then single crochet into the last 3. So put your hook in there. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to cut my yarn and pull it through. Okay, and what you end up with is something that looks like this. Then the next thing I have to do is get my yarn needle and thread the ends through so we can weave these into the work. I want to be seeing these. So the rule is usually that you go at least 3 times in 3 different directions. So this is once, there, twice there, and then I'll go down this way. And I'm going to do it once more just for good measure. Go across here, weaving it in. Pull it through, and trim that off. this one end done. And now we're going to do the other end. This just means when you wash them, they don't come unraveled on you. It's called weaving in the ends. There we go. And then what I do for my button is I like to have a variety of buttons on hand. So I got this bag of buttons that I bought at Walmart, I think. And it's got all different kinds of buttons, little ones and big ones, as you can see. And I love buttons. And I always have a story about buttons. When I first moved to England when I was 17 to Yorkshire, I went to the market to ask the lady at the market for some buttons. And I had a horrible time trying to make myself understood because it was a very broad Yorkshire accent in the area I was living. And I had to actually mime doing up buttons so that she would know what I was talking about. And she says, "Oh, buttons, buttons, love." And she totally couldn't understand my Canadian accent. So anyway, I have a couple of buttons here, and you can choose whatever you like, okay? On the ones that I've already made over here, I'll just take them off the cup here. This one, I put a nice bright blue button on. And on my white one with the pink, I put a more toned down wooden buttons. Look really nice. And I've also used coconut, the coconut ones that you can find, okay? So what I do, I tend to put it right around the cup and figure out where I'm going to be putting it. But if you're making them for people and you don't know what cup they're using, you can totally just always center the button right in the middle of that single crochet section there. See how this one is? And this one. And these both fit. They fit the regular cup and they fit a little bit of a larger cup because people, the early mugs are much smaller than the ones people are using now. But because it's crochet, it's very stretchy and very giving and forgiving. Okay, so I'm just going to sew this on and then we will have the finished cup mug cozy, and you can use it just like that. But because it's for Valentine's, we're going to make a heart. So I've got my needle and my thread, and I'm just starting here. I did a little bit before I got here, and then I thought I better point out, I always start at the top. I sort of gone down to the middle of the mug cozy, but I like to sort of pull my thread through the top so that the knot, because it's got to be quite a big knot with crochet because it can go through, is hidden underneath of the button. Okay, so I'm going to use this pink button here, and I'm going to start to attach the button. But I'm going to make sure that that knot is hidden underneath. And then we're going to start going up and down to attach the button. I like to go quite a few times just to make sure that it's okay. Using all the different holes that there are. And I don't know how you attach buttons, but the way I was taught to do it when I was younger was then you put your needle from the back and you bring it out there, sort of where the stitching is going through, and you wrap it around quite a few times. It gives it a little bit of a hank there, and it just strengthens the button, and then you can put your needle through that twisted yarn, go through the different directions. And that leaves a little bit of space for when you put the holder side through. So that's my button on. Right, so now we can put that to one side, and it does. And the reason it's kind of loose like that is just so that it gives you a lot of leeway that you can put it onto a cup that's this size, and it will stretch and go over. So it makes it more adaptable. And it's pretty cute, pretty cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make a heart that we can put on there, so it will become a Valentine's cup cozy, or just a loving cup cozy. It doesn't have to be Valentine's. I've had these, people like these all year round. Okay, so I'm just going to get my stuff and come back, and we'll be making. So these are the hearts that you can make. They look pretty cute. I made some pink ones, I made some white ones, and I've made some red ones. So I thought for this bright red mug cozy that I would make some white ones. So we're starting out with just a regular worsted weight yarn. This is some that is the end of a skein, and I've rolled it up into a ball, which is not always the easiest thing to work with when you're doing a video. Anyway, so this is my, once again, actually this starts with a magic circle. You could start it with chaining 3 or 4 and making a little ring, but I'm going to show you the magic circle method. But if you don't want to try the magic circle, you can just chain 3, make a little ring, and go into the middle of your ring. Okay, so you just I hold out my hand and I put the yarn through these 2 fingers here, and then I sort of pinch it there, and then I wrap it over this pointy finger like this, and I pinch it with my thumb, and then I just go underneath that one and over that one and pull it through. And that is the simplest way that I can think of to do a magic circle. And then you can actually chain 1, and you've sort of pinched it shut. Okay, so that's your magic circle, and you've got 2 pieces of yarn. Now you've got your tail here and the part that makes the actual circle. So you're going to work over those 2 pieces of yarn. Okay, the first thing we need to do to make our little heart is to make 3 half double crochets. So you wrap the yarn over to make a half double crochet, just like you're doing a double crochet, but when you've put it through and you pull the yarn through, you're not going to go through 2 and then 2, you're going to go through all 3 at once, and that's a half double crochet. So we need to do another, and I kind of pull this tight so it makes it easier to work in here, otherwise it's too wibbly wobbly, right? So you kind of pull it tight, you wrap the yarn over, and you pull this tight so that you can go through there, wrap your yarn over, come through, and then pull through all 3. All right, that's 2, and here's number 3. That's your 3 half double crochets. That's the first step. Okay, the second step is 3 full double crochets right now. So we're going to do 3 double crochets. That's where we go through 2 and 2. That's 1. Wrap your yarn over, go through the loop, pull it through, 2, 2. That's 2 double crochets. Wrap your yarn over, put your yarn through the hole, 2, 2. So that's 3 double crochets. Now the thing about videos, you can always stop it. So if you haven't finished your 3 double crochets and I'm moving on, don't panic, just stop the video, do what you need to do, and then start again so that you're up to speed, okay? So now I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to go right into this loop, and I'm going to do a slip stitch, which means you just pull it through. See how I'm having to move my fingers here to do the slip stitch, and then you pull it through. So that's the slip stitch. And now I'm going back and holding the 2 threads of the magic loop, and I'm wrapping my yarn over, and I'm going to do another chain. So either side of the slip stitch there is a chain 1. So the next step is 3 double crochets. So we wrap the yarn over, put it through, pull it up, 1, 2, yarn over, pull it up, go through 2 loops, 2 loops. That's 2 double crochets. Yarn over, go through the magic loop, pull the yarn up, go through 2 stitches, 2 stitches. That's 3 double crochets. I'm just thinking white's probably not the best color to be working with against the white background. Hopefully it's going to show up okay for you guys. So the next thing we're going to do, because this is a symmetrical heart, is we are going to do 3 half double crochets. So we put the hook through, always holding these 2 together. Okay, keep those 2 together. Hook through, yarn over, pull it through, and go right through all 3. And the trick is to keep that tension there so you can pull it through. Yarn over, put it through the loop, pull your loop up, and then yarn over. And by pulling here, you're creating a gap in those loops, and you can pull it right through. That's 2 and 3. So let's count. 1, 2, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3 half double crochets. Now we can pull on that little loose thread here, this one. Start to tighten up your loop, and we're going to look at our chain 3 that we started with here, and we're going to just go into the top of it like that. Okay, see there's 2 threads on there, and we're just going to slip stitch that shut through and through. And now if we want to, we can pull the little hole really tight, and look what that magic loop does. That's so pretty. Okay, so here we are at the bottom of our little heart, and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to do 3 half double crochets into the next 3 stitches. Okay, 1 into that stitch, 2 into that stitch, 3 into that stitch. Okay, and then the next one is 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Now we're going to do 3 double crochets into the next stitch. Oops, make sure we're going right into the between the 2 of them. 1, 2, 3 double crochets all into 1 stitch right there. Now the next one is 2 double crochets into the next stitch. 1 into the same stitch, 2. All right, and now we can see where we had the slip stitch in there. There's a stitch there, but we're skipping that stitch. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we are going to slip stitch right into that little space there. And you know, it's arbitrary. You just do where you think that slip stitch went, really. Don't freak out about it. Chain 2. We're going to skip a stitch, and we're going to do, at this top one here, we're going to go 2 double crochets. 1, 2. And then into the next one, we're going to do 3 into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3. Now into the next stitch, we're going to do 1 double crochet. Then we're going to stop with the doubles and we're going to go to a half double crochet. Okay, so into the next stitch, we're going to do 1 half double crochet. Into the next stitch, we're going to do 2 half double crochets. Into the next stitch, we're going to do a third half double crochet. And then we're going to find the top of that chain 3, which is here. Put your hook through there, wrap your yarn over, and we're slip stitching. So we're going through that one and through that one. And now I'm going to cut the yarn, but I'm going to leave a long, long tail so we can sew it on with the tail, okay? And we're going to pull that long tail through there. And we are done with our pretty little heart. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is I do want to sew this in just in case we don't want it to come undone. The magic loop is pretty strong, but I always would rather be safe than sorry, right? So I always take my needle and thread it through. And go back. Okay, cut that off. Doesn't really matter because it's right behind it. And then we thread our needle and we're ready to attach this to the cozy. These make lovely gifts for people, and I hope you're enjoying watching this. Make my heart right there. I try and sort of line it up with the stitches at the top, and I've got my needle threaded. So this is how I do it. I like to have the part that's got all the stitches showing really nicely there along the top. You can also pin it on if you want. I just tend to hold it. And I go up and down through those stitches. So down through that one and up through this one. If you want to, you can go back on yourself and skip underneath to go to the next one. Whichever technique you prefer to sew it on, it's totally up to you how you want to do it. Okay, I just keep checking to make sure it's straight, that it hasn't gone wonky on me. I have a blunt needle here. It's my yarn needle. It's not really a pointy one. So anyway, it's going to be okay. Down into the little pointed hard part. I think I might just push it right through. And then I'm going to come up here. Looks really close to the button, but I think it's just that the yarn stretches when it's buttoned up. See how it gives like that? So here we go, down the last little piece. Then at the end I push it right through and I turn it over, and I'm going to weave in my ends at the back here. And I kind of go and pick up a little bit of the heart underneath. Don't go too deep because you don't want it showing through, but it just kind of stops that bit of puffiness that can happen because it's not really attached. And then just weave in the end. Okay, I'm going to cut that off. Don't have very sharp scissors on here. Okay, so here, there we go. We have a beautiful mug cozy. Okay, so we'll attach that to our mug. See how it's really at the side once it's all put on, so I don't think it shows up very good. I will take some video with the camera farther away, but there we have our mug cozy. I hope you've enjoyed watching that. If you like what you see on Caraway Crochet's channel, please do subscribe and hit the little bell button image there so you get notifications of new videos that come out. I have a blog, carawaycrochet.com, where I have a lot of free patterns, so you're welcome to visit me there. And I am on Instagram as Caraway Crochet, as well as on Pinterest. So Caraway Crochet is where you find me. And thank you very much for watching.